Nice one for clicking on this video. If you want even more reaction to that press conference that you're about to watch, you can come over to Redmen Plus. Go to redmenplus.com and sign up as either a club captain or a club legend, and you can watch my reaction to Jurgen Klopp's press conference. Now let's get right into the video.
Jurgen, a number of positives the other night. Darwin obviously looked pretty lively as well. I just wonder, the fact that he's getting into good positions, the fact that he's getting chances, was that down to the work that he's been doing? Was it down to the change in formation? And on that change in formation, is that something you're likely to persist with as well?
Wow. Yeah, it was down to his movement and down to the movement of the boys around, I think. But one of the things he showed so far in all the games he played, that he brings himself quite frequently in good finishing positions, which is actually the most important thing for a striker. And that's why everybody should be, or could be, very optimistic about what's coming from him in the future. And so that was absolutely good. What was the last part? You have three. You always three questions.
Just two.
Two, okay.
It was just the change in formation as well. Is that something you're thinking you found a way to move forward now? Is this the plan for the future?
No, the thing is, for us, it's much more important that we become unpredictable again. And we need different systems for that as well. And so this is not the only system we can play. This was now a 4-4-2. That's always when you name systems, it's a 4-3-3 or it's a 5-4-5-1. So it's a 4-4-2 or a 4-2-3-1. Maybe don't want to make it more complicated than it is, but there are obviously different systems for us available, and we have to choose from now on which one is the best for the next opponent, and or the best for us in the moment. And but how I said, we have to be more unpredictable, definitely.
We spoke to Virgil after the game as well, and he was talking about player welfare, kind of in relation to the criticism that Trent had received. And he said, I think that if the players from 10, 20 years ago were under the microscope that we are at the moment, there would also be a lot of players struggling. You try to shut it out, but other people call you and say, are you all right? And you think, why? It will always come to you. We have to deal with it, but it's not easy, let's put it that way. With that in mind, was there any consideration given to taking Trent out of the firing line, giving him a break, just to get away from things?
I think I didn't hear that from Pervert, but it sounds for me like more like a general thing. If we would have the criticism for like 20 years ago, or social media active 20 years ago, life of all the guys would have been completely different. Going out and stuff like this after a game, these kind of things would have been slightly different or more difficult at least. But that's clear. But nobody wants to go back 20 years. Yes, that's one of the challenges we face, and not Trent now. That's one of the challenges the boys especially face, because in good moments, the boys are probably guilty as well to like what everybody writes, and it's not important, to be honest. But in bad moments, when you don't like it, it's not important as well. But that's obviously something you have to learn over years. Trent is pretty good at that. Pretty early. By the way, his birthday today, so 24 now. Wow. Didn't think about that.
Sing song for Trent at training later though.
Yes.
Last season, you scored 8 goals across 4 games with Arsenal and didn't concede. 4 against them at Anfield obviously came after yourself and Mikel had a few words on the touchline as well. Maybe you talking about that last season, how it sparked you guys on that occasion as well. But how much of a different proposition do you feel Arsenal are? Because it seems that Mikel has been given a bit of time. He was under pressure at one point, and they now effectively the real deal in terms of the title race this season.
Yeah, so I all my respect. Wow. Really, really good job. So it's like this, when you need some time, nobody wants to give you time. And maybe not all of us deserve time, because it's you still have to be good to use the time, and that was Mikel obviously did. I have to say, really, lots of respect for it. They had a lot of talent already in the last few years. I think Martinelli, everybody, I was very early excited about him, and he became exactly the player I expected he will be. Martin Odegaard. I spoke to him when he was 15 from Norway, and the whole world wanted him. He decided for Real Madrid, but I remember, as it would have been yesterday, that we sat on a table with his dad, and we were all so excited. And then there came a few difficult years, which is normal when you're that much in the spotlight. So he became the player everybody expected him to be that time. Saka, I think from first day since he's playing, it's incredible. And Gabriel Jesus, if anybody knew how good he could be, not in a Man City shirt, in a fixed role, fixed number 9, number 1 in the lineup, if you want. The fixed number 9 in the lineup. Then it was Mikel, because we worked together with him. Same with Zinchenko, so great things. Brought Xhaka back on track. Thomas Partey, everybody knew how good he is when he was at Atletico. So, and then the last line is now really well settled. They found a way how they want to defend, and that's it. And then last night, obviously, they played a different lineup, but still lots of quality. So it's a young team, very exciting team, and doing really well. And they are in the position they are, well deserved. So, but now we go there, and obviously we don't think about the games we played against them, because it makes not too much sense. But so we will try, to cause them problems. I think that makes sense, huh? And so I'm looking forward to it.
Lisa?
Yeah, just moving on from that, a lot of people were maybe a little bit surprised when Gabriel Jesus was allowed to go from Manchester City, a big club, to a rival big club. But what have you made of the blossoming of him since he's gone from that one to the other and really started throwing goals all over the place now?
Oh, I don't know Gabriel is on a personal basis, but I always liked him as a player. So it's just I don't think City. Well, I know City wouldn't have sold him to every club, but to Arsenal, obviously, it was far off. The distance was big enough. It was like geographically, yeah. And then they did it, and for Gabriel, exceptional player, you always saw that when he played for City. But it's like this: when you're a player, the Gabriel Jesus' role at City, I think it was a 9, a winger, and these kind of things. Even was it last year when everybody said City has no number 9? I was still there. So it's everything. It's like it's different. But he played more often from the wing, obviously, and now he can play his role. And there was a third goal last night. What did it win? 3-0, 4-0? I'm not sure when I switched off. 3-0, yeah. Was a nice setup. So he's flying in the moment, huh? So full of confidence. That's what confidence does to top quality, to top class players. And if you not play against them, then it's easy to enjoy what he's doing in the moment. And now it's our opponent for the weekend, so we have to make sure that he will stop flying for a weekend.
In terms of injury news at the moment, are you likely to have anyone back? Is Andy Robertson going for contention this weekend?
Curtis Jones was in training yesterday to look good, but that's not the first session, so he's then probably the closest. Nothing new about so they're a good way. They do all of big sessions, but Naby and Ox still a little bit away. They have one new injury, it's Arthur Melo in the last session before the Rangers game. Normal situation. He just injured a muscle. We have to wait for further assessment to know exactly how long it will be, but he's out. Nobody else. Rob is running a lot, looks like he's close. Probably Kurt is now the closest, then Robbo, and then the other two, step by step.
Juliet?
Jurgen, you touched on confidence, what it does to top players just a few moments ago. The body language felt different on Tuesday from your players. The crowd felt different, certainly. Watching the performance, do you feel the players now aren't far off from their best levels that we've seen?
Look, Julia, what can I say about that? We had this conversation a couple of times. We won against Bournemouth 9-0, and everybody, I think body language was pretty good that day, wasn't it? So that's how it is. We have to I said before the game, when you spot a problem as human beings and you think about it and you have a solution, then you want the solution instantly clicking. That's just the solution immediately. So, and we are still in progress. It's like work in progress to find a way out. That's how it is. So you cannot now say, okay, now we are back. Oh, we are back again in a dark place, and now we are back again here. We need consistency. For consistency, we need to defend the rubbish out of everybody, pretty much. Let me say it like this: we have to, and that's what we have to do. And I'm not interested now in this short-term diagnosis. Oh, that was good, that was bad, that was good, that was bad. No, we have to be good until we are outstanding. So that's what we have to be. And from here, go and go and go, improve. And I know Arsenal, Rangers away, which is obviously a different game, a really different game to the home game as well. And then Man City, yeah, what can I say? Yes, we are through the tunnel and I can see the light or whatever. I'm very positive. I'm very optimistic. These players are outstanding still, but we have to perform, and that's what we're in. And that the body language was good, I saw as well, but it has to be good, and other things have to be really, really good as well on Sunday.
Surely there can't be too much rubbish to get rid of, though. Use that word rubbish. There can't be too much more to get out.
No. Yeah, there's no. That's what I wanted to say. We have to defend the shit out of everybody we face, and that's why we use the word rubbish. So that's obviously that's what we have to do, and that's what we try.
James, can I ask you about Roberto Firmino, please?
You can ask me about everything.
In 6. That's as many league goals as he got last season.
And then I take him out of the lineup. So there's nothing. Yes, Bobby was the goals he scored against Brighton were absolutely outstanding. The goals he scored, but for the game at the weekend, we thought it makes sense to play like this. And we play a lot of games, these kind of things. Bobby's an incredibly important player to me and to us, especially. But it's that was it. Yes, I'm happy with his goal scoring record so far, and hopefully he can put a few more on.
And how frustrating is it when you concede first in league games of late? It's much you can do about it.
Look, the problem in our situation is even if you win a game, somebody comes around the corner and tells you the problem from the game before. What you do now. So how often did we now speak about that? How often? Because we conceded that often, this first goal. I know that. But my English is not good enough to describe the frustration in these moments, but the game still doesn't end there. Then you have to respond. It's not in our match plan. You can watch. I can give you the match plans of all the games. It was not in one of them was involved. Let's concede the first goal. So we want to be spot on from the first second of the game. And I understand you can say that, and it's one of my dreams for this season that nobody asks me about it anymore, but not because you forget it, not just because we don't do it anymore. But it's not cool, but. In the last game, it didn't happen at least. So maybe we can go from there.
Carl Markham.
You spoke earlier about wanting to be unpredictable again.
We have to.
Yeah, because you've been so wedded to 4-3-3, and a lot of your lines with almost the same players. So have teams finally worked out how teams worked out how you can play against us when we are not at our best. But actually, that was always it's funny that we are. Other teams have worked out how to play against us since years, but it still didn't work out for them because we were exceptional in the moment in the things we did. So in the moment when you're not exceptional, then it looks like now they realize no. I could in our best games I could show you the parts where we could have got problems. Here, there, but we didn't because we put so much pressure on the opposition that they couldn't find these spaces. That's the risk you take. In a moment when you don't play on your top, well, these gaps are still there. So and then play the pass through, and then now we look like now they know how to play against them. No, it was always clear. It's not whatever system we played. There's no system in the world with no weakness. With no weakness. There's no. We play with 5 in the back, 3 in the back, 4 in the back, no one in the back. There's no system. So. And it's all about how we perform. So I understand, but 100% of people, it's a 4-3-3, and you know exactly. That's not about that. It's really not about that. It's how we, what we did, and how, with which intensity we did it, and these kind of things. That changed everything, because defending in a 4-3-3 or a 4-5-1, you can just, if you look at it, you know where the gaps are. So, but you fill them by your with your movements, and then the gaps are not really existing or are only open for a wink, and then you close it again. So that's the way you have to play. And there's no system we can now rely on and say, okay, from now on this is perfect, because we know how to play against other teams. That's how it is. You see how they play usually, and that's the problem with us. Most of the time, teams change system. Arsenal will not do that now. They believe in what they are doing, 100%, rightly so. So we know how to prepare for Arsenal. But in the end, it's how we execute it.
Does the unpredictability help you more offensively than defensively?
No, unpredictability should. As unpredictability is like, if you prepare for us, I just like it. But in the moment, I think it makes sense that I just have to think twice or at least 3 times. So where there might be something which they could use. And for us, it's both things is important. So defensively being compact, and offensively having different players in different positions. Both make sense.
Any more for the embargo section?
Yeah, you mentioned about intensity then in putting pressure on the ball, and that's been a bit of a problem this season. Is there a reason behind that? Is it the players physically where you want them to be, or is it a confidence issue? Or?
No. But a confidence issue.
Well,
That's a little bit. So for the way we defended, you need to be brave. So we come now back again to, by the way, how our fullbacks defend. Usually we jump with our fullbacks to the fullback of other teams. It was great, and when we win the ball, then put them on pressure. All great. We are not arrived there, not the right moment. They just passed the ball past our fullback, which is then obviously not in his position in the back line. And you all and outside world tells them, you cannot defend like this. Oh yes, you can. We did it like in 200 games, but when the timing is not right, you can't. That's true. That's always the case. If you are late in a challenge, there's no challenge. Actually, that's in all situations the same. So I'm a bit surprised that I look in these surprised eyes, because that's obvious. That's obvious football. How you do that, and sometimes you have to do a step aside or step back or whatever to get that timing again. So in football, in our case, we don't talk about we wanted it last year with 100% and this year was only 80%. There might be the boys wanted it 100%, but maybe put in only 97%, but not consciously. So just in these decisive moments, yes, because things didn't work out right. And then some players had to play too early, some players were new, some players were young, and all these kind of things. And all of a sudden, a well-drilled team didn't work together anymore, but not willingly, just because one was a bit, can I really push up? And the other one was already there. And that's how pressing doesn't work like this. You commit to pressing and you do it. You don't press or only defensive press around your own box, fine. But you have to commit to a common plan. And that only works if everybody feels the same. And that might have been a little bit a problem, that we were not all in the same place in that moment, that we had all the same confidence level for doing these kind of things, because we all had different solutions for the same problem.
Thank you for watching that video. We all love Jurgen Klopp, don't we? So why don't you go over to redmenplus.com, sign up as a club captain or club legend, and you can get my reaction to our beloved manager, Jurgen Klopp. So head over there, sign up and get the press conference reaction show. Nice one. Have a good day.